For 20 years, Elaine's life ran on Richard's expectations. The kettle at 6 toast, not 2 dark shirts, ironed with perfect creases. Every corner of the house revolved around him, and he rarely raised his voice. He didn't need to. You folded these wrong. This coffee's weak. Why isn't the mail sorted? Small corrections delivered casually accumulated until Elaine moved through the house like a shadow, anticipating flaws before they formed. She stopped buying books because he said they cluttered shelves. She stopped calling friends because he disliked interruptions. Silence became safer than expression none. On their 20th anniversary, Richard forgot he left early for golf. Barely glancing at the breakfast she'd prepared for 2, Elaine sat alone at the table, sunlight touching the empty plate. Something shifted. Not dramatic, just a quiet unlocking. She ate slowly. The toast was slightly burnt. She left it that way. Later, she opened a drawer and found her old sketchbook. Before marriage, she used to draw constantly. Her pencil hesitated, then moved. One line became another. Hours slipped by. When Richard came home, he glanced at the sketchbook. "You've got time for that?" "Yes," she answered. The word felt unfamiliar and solid at once. She began carving small spaces for herself, 15 minutes of drawing, then short walks. Eventually, she volunteered at a local library. There, people asked her opinions and remembered her name. A coordinator named Maya noticed her sketches. "You should teach a beginner class," Maya said. Elaine laughed. "I couldn't." "Why not? You already are." The idea lingered. Richard barely reacted when she mentioned it. "As long as dinner's on time." The class started with 5 students. Elaine's voice trembled at first, then steadied. When a student smiled at their finished drawing, warmth spread through her chest. Her world widened. She stayed later at the library, chatting, laughing softly. She earned a small stipend and opened a bank account at home. Dinner occasionally ran late. Laundry waited. Richard's comments sharpened. "You're out too much. You've changed." Elaine looked around, books on the table, windows open, sunlight everywhere. "Yes," she said. One rainy evening, he finally said, "You need to quit this. It's distracting you from what matters." "What matters?" she asked. "This house, me, the routine." Elaine set down a folder of drawings. For years she had accepted that definition. Now it sounded narrow. "I matter," she said quietly. 2 weeks later, she signed a lease on a small apartment near the library. It had creaky floors and a narrow balcony, but the air felt lighter. She packed a few boxes, clothes, books, art supplies. Richard watched from the doorway. "You'll regret this," he said. Elaine nodded, then stepped outside. The first night alone, the silence felt different, open instead of heavy. She sat on the balcony with tea, watching city lights flicker. No schedule, no corrections. Months passed. She taught more classics, displayed student work, and reconnected with old friends. Plants filled the balcony. Laughter came easily. One afternoon, she hung her own painting, a simple kitchen window filled with sunlight. It wasn't perfect, but it was hers. She opened a fresh sketchbook and began again. Her life no longer measured by someone else's routine, but by lines she chose to draw herself.